from a man in deep. Said his house ain't a home and he's losing sleep. Wife cold as steel, vibe off track. Asked me how the hell to get his edge back.
What's going on, guys? I don't have a sponsored video for you today, but I do have something that I wanted to talk about. Last Friday's episode, I don't know if you guys tuned into that, but I've been getting a lot of really good feedback from Friday's episode. And one of the brothers in Wolfpack, he's like, I had an absolute epiphany. He's like preaching the gospel now, and he's like the Apostle Paul, and he's spreading the gospel. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to double down on this. I'm going to, because there's some other guys in the pack that haven't quite had that same epiphany. There's some guys that still have this revenge fantasy when it comes to women. They get red pill. They're still in their red pill rage phase. And you guys got to understand, like, red pill by itself is a praxeology. Okay. It's a set of tools that you can use to actually improve your life if you let it. All right. But the thing is that a lot of guys gravitate towards negative red pill type content, which one might argue is actually black pill type doom and gloom and nihilistic thinking. And it keeps them stuck. It keeps them stuck in the churn, as it were. And so two of the ways that guys tend to do this is they are addicted to the content. For one, we're going to talk about some of that on Friday, but another one is they get this revenge fantasy, right? Where they were hurt sometime in their past, maybe they got divorced, maybe they got broken up with, or maybe they're just constantly getting rejected by women, which the story that we're going to talk about today sort of goes into. And so they have this negative concept about women, and they have this idea based on other negative red pill type content that women are going to get theirs. They're going to get their comeuppance. And I'm here to tell you, no, they're not. All right. You are not going to hold women accountable, and you need to let go of that revenge fantasy if you're going to live a healthy life. Okay. The thing is that when we're focused on these negative things, these negative ideas, these negative connotations of revenge, towards these women that have somehow wronged us in our life, we're allowing that story that we're creating in our head to control our emotions in life. And it's keeping us in a state of unhappiness, which, like I said, I talked about last Friday, right? It's essentially akin to living in hell. Okay. When you're in these negative states, you're essentially living in hell. And my job is to help you guys rise above all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to tell this story today. Some of you guys may have heard it, so it's going to be a refresher, but it was a required reading in the old TRP sidebar on Reddit. So TRP stands for the red pill. And the reason why this is in here is specifically for this, because the guys that come into the space, they have these revenge ideas. And I want you guys first to understand that you're not alone in that. Okay. But I also want you guys to come to the realization that it's not doing you any good. Okay. It's not moving your life forward. All right. So this is called Michael's story. And the origin of this was this guy, Michael, back in 2012, left a comment, a very lengthy comment, which is what we're going to read today, on the old Dalrock blog. And if you guys don't know who Dalrock was a Christian red pillar. So he would talk about red pill praxeology from a Christian standpoint, from a biblical standpoint. And so this guy is clearly a Christian. He's got a lot of that Christian programming, which by itself isn't bad. Okay. Some Christian, I would argue though, that some Christian paradigms when it comes to relationships is ineffective in modern day. And we'll get into that too. Maybe we'll see. So I'm just going to read through this, and I have some notes here. So Michael starts off. He says, hello, is there an introduction board for this website? My name is Michael. I've been reading this website for 3 days. I'm shocked to see everything I've experienced written in such a perfectly stated way. Never before have I seen a blog or media outlet so perfectly written. The writer is surely a genius. I'm amazed and relieved to see so many responses. It means I'm not alone. Okay. You're not alone. Right. You've never been alone. Okay. What you guys have gone through, the misery that you guys have gone through that brought you to the red pill, it's the same misery that brought all of us here. Okay. But the trick is letting go of that misery. You look at it for what it was, a learning experience, and finding a new strategy to get what you want out of life. Okay. That's what the praxeology is for. It's about living your best possible life for you based on your vision of what you want in your life. Okay. But when you're focused on negative things, it keeps you stuck in these other stories that don't move you forward. You understand? It largely keeps you stuck in the past, which you can't change. Can't change it. I'm 32 years old and I have never been married. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm not sure which anymore at this point. I have no kids. I am single and alone and not dating anyone. I live in Los Angeles. Well, that's your first problem, bro. Get the hell out of Los Angeles. This was back in 2012. Hopefully he already is out. My income was $120,000 net earnings after creative deductions and business taxes in 2011, that's pretty solid money back 2011. Pretty solid money now, although with inflation, it's not as much as it used to be. Income is projected to be $170,000 net earnings after business taxes in 2012. I'm exactly the kind of independent man women claim they want. I drive a luxury car with an amazing apartment in Los Angeles directly on the beach. It's quite a panty moistener and costs me $6,000 per month. You know what? I just want to add right here. He thinks like a lot of guys in this space. I see him all the time in the comments on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. Sometimes on TikTok or whatever, where they think that money is what attracts women. So he's like, oh, all this stuff, I have all these things. I make all this money. It's a panty dropper. Money is the beta side of hypergamy. I will scream that from the mountaintops. It's alpha seed, beta need. Okay. So women need money, so they will use you for your money, but that's not sexually attractive. You understand what I'm saying? So it is not a panty moistener at all. Okay. If you lead with your wallet, you're going to attract gold diggers. He goes, I work from home because an office would cost at least another $2,000 per month. I keep in great shape, gym 3 to 4 times a week, running, organic diet. I spend $700 to $900 a month on organic foods and supplements. I was raised in a Christian Seventh Heaven household, Seventh Heaven show type household. We always went to church. Strong, hardworking father figure was always present for me and my siblings. I went to private school, university, law school, and then started my own practice at 28 years old. That's all very successful stuff. It seems like he's very mission focused, which is very good. Okay. But his paradigm on what makes women attracted to him is flawed. Okay. That's his problem. You know, he's operating from classic nice guy programming, which we'll get into. And once you understand that, you just need to understand that that's the women's not the problem. It's your strategy. That's the problem. Your paradigm about how attraction really works is the problem. You understand? My parents met and married in college. They have been married for 39 years, and it hurts me to the core to be 32 and unmarried, alone, without a loving wife. I feel pain from it every single day. It's like a sharp, invisible dagger constantly stabbing at me. But perhaps I'm part of the problem listed in the graphs above. Let me explain why. Well, before we let him explain why, I put here, it says here, perhaps let's see here. Yeah. So why does he feel this way? Why does he feel like a sharp, invisible dagger constantly stabbing at him because he's not married at 32? Because he's been programmed with a paradigm of how life is supposed to be. How life's supposed to be. Based on what? Based on what your parents did? Clearly, that's what he's operating from. Do you see that? His parents got married at an early age, and they've been married 39 years, and he thinks that's how life is supposed to be. and he's operating from that paradigm, and he's resentful because he didn't have the same experience as his parents. Okay. A big part of last Friday's episode, and I've been trying to, I pinned it. I don't normally pin every one of my episodes in the Wolfpack, but I pinned last Friday's episode because so many guys are going through what I talked about on Friday's episode. And Friday's episode was like almost 2 hours long. It's one of the longest podcasts I ever did because it is so important. And I pinned it in the Wolfpack chat because I want the guys that are going through this, and I want to be able to refer guys back to it who are going through this type of thing, to look at things from a different point of view, okay? Because a large part of the stories we tell ourselves is based on how we think life is supposed to be. And when things don't play out the way we think they should play out, that's where it really starts hurting us. You understand? We're telling ourselves a story. One of the things that I talked about in Friday's episode is that we don't really see reality. We don't. Okay. You got to understand this. What's creating the picture of reality that you see in front of you is a brain that's in darkness, contained in bone. It has never seen the light of day. The way it interprets what's going on out here is through our five senses. Okay. Taste, touch, hearing, smell, vision. Okay. We're taking in these vibrations through our five senses. That's being filtered through our animal brain, our lizard brain. The Russians called it the paleocortex. Okay. That's where a lot of your fight or flight type stuff is. It's filtering it through that. Then it filters it through the part of your brain that creates emotion and puts an emotional wrapper on it. And then feeds that to the neocortex, which is your conscious mind, right? And that creates a story around it that paints the map of your world. Okay. So if you have a fundamentally flawed paradigm about how life is supposed to be, all this stuff out here is not going to match the story that you're telling yourself. And that's not going to jive with you. And now you're going to feel slighted. You're going to feel hurt. You're going to feel depressed. There's all this different stuff. But you got to understand, there's a saying in NLP that the map is not the territory. Okay. It's not real. None of this is real. It's a story you've told yourself. Okay. Go back and watch Friday's episode after this if you can. If you can't, bookmark it on Spotify or iTunes or whatever. Just listen to it. Listen to Friday's episode a couple times, especially if you're living in a negative state when it comes to women. Okay. He goes, I went to the same college my parents met and married at. I was hoping to meet, marry, and settle down. Instead, I was met with hundreds of young college-age women who were not interested in marriage. They were interested in 1, partying, 2, having sex. College was 24/7 fuck fest. We're past the 8-minute mark. What's the problem? That sounds awesome. What's the problem, bro? You're telling me you were literally living in heaven and you made it into hell on earth because of your mindset? Oh, man. Christians. Am I right, guys? I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to crap on the Christians, but because this is the Christian paradigm, right? The Christian paradigm is you meet women to get married. Like every girl that you talk to, you're looking for a wife, right? It has to be a wife or nothing. It's all or nothing, right? Because the Bible, Jesus tells me this, I know, because the Bible tells me so, or however the song goes. I don't know. You guys get the point, right? Let me just ask you this. Why do Christians, why do you guys hate fun? Why do you guys hate fun so much? I mean, that sounds rad. Okay. It's 24/7 fuck fest. That sounds amazing to me. Okay. I'm just kidding. At first, I was able to begrudgingly socialize in this element. What do I mean by this element within this context? College, extreme social promiscuity, cheating, drama, drugs, and parties. I was an observer, but never a direct participant because my heart would not let me. Was it really his heart or was it programming? This is what I mean when I talk about paradigm. In fact, that's why I wrote Psychology Paradigm. It's a large part of this book is to get you to realize these ineffective paradigms you have about women, about attraction, about marriage, you know, like all this kind of stuff that you've been programmed since birth to believe. And so that's created this map of the world. But have you ever sat down to wonder if the programs that you have are truly what you want? Most people haven't. Most people have never questioned the paradigms that they were programmed with when they were 3 years old. 3. You're operating on program of a 3-year-old when you're 32 years old, and you've never questioned it. Why? Think about that for a second, okay? This eventually caused me to stick out as a third wheel observer on campus. He couldn't even bring himself to just socialize and have fun with these people, okay? Here's the thing. If you're a Christian and you really believe in the values of the Bible, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Why can't you still have fun, though? Okay, I don't think the 10 Commandments, anywhere in the 10 Commandments, I don't think anywhere in Leviticus does it say, thou shalt not have fun. Does it? I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I've read it. I'm pretty sure it doesn't say, thou shalt not have fun. The reason why he refuses to is because it's not matching what he thinks it should be. Okay. The big thing about red pill is it's the difference between is and ought, right? It's red pill is about what is. And a lot of you guys are thinking from what ought to be. Okay. And that's a part of your problem. And that's a part of the pain that you're holding on to. What ought to be, not what is. Okay. If you go back, fuck it. Let me just bring it up here. I was going to say, if you go back to Friday's episode and look at the map of consciousness, okay, which Dr. David Hawkins came up with years ago. And it's pretty accurate in my opinion. Actually, hold on. It's over here in this folder. Yeah. The map of consciousness. Okay. If you look at the map of consciousness, let me hide this. He's living down here, right? He's down here because nothing's matching up what ought to be. But if you move up to up here, acceptance, that's really where the red pill is trying to bring you. It's where this is the way things are. Okay. They just are. So what are you going to do about it? Right? Instead of living down here in what ought to be. And you can't change it, right? You can't change these women. You can't change their them wanting to party in college and stuff like that because they're young and they just want to have fun, okay? You can't change that. So what's your strategy? You're just going to sulk and be pissed off at the world because you can't change it? Or maybe stop looking at a party college. Oh, well, my parents met here. I should be able to meet women here too. Okay. Stop. Well, it's a party fucking school now, obviously. So maybe you need to change your strategy, bro. Okay. Maybe you're not going to meet your girl there. Maybe you're going to meet her somewhere else. Maybe you're going to meet her at church or something. Okay. But probably not. That's for another episode where women reach their epiphany phase in their 30s and they find Jesus all of a sudden to find guys like Michael so they can settle down, which we'll get into in a minute. Okay. But red pill, the whole goal of the praxeology, and I'm not talking about red pill trademark and, women ain't shit and don't date women with tattoos and whatever bullshit you find on the internet. That's designed to keep you down here in the churn. Okay. And if you really pay attention to what the praxeology teaches, it's about bringing you up here to acceptance, which is you're now living in heaven. And now you can think more clearly. And now you can develop a strategy to get what you want out of this world. But you'll never get it down here because you're seeing it through this negative lens that's telling you can't, right? This is the realm of possibility. This is the realm of impossibility down here. Okay. We'll talk more about that shit on Friday. God damn it. Is Paul getting with the woo-woo again? And no, I'm not trying to get with the woo-woo. Okay. I'm trying to talk about what if you're mad or if you're happy. Okay. That's not woo-woo at all. That's, are you happy or are you fucking mad all the time? Right? I don't like that woo-woo shit, Paul. God damn it. there's a lot of guys at Wolfpack that are like, Paul, anytime we know that this woo-woo, I'm not going to tune into that. Fucking don't then, okay? Like that, I don't care. I don't care. I'm still going to talk about it. The whole goal isn't to get you guys to believe in the woo-woo. The whole goal is to get you guys to look at things from a different point of view and see things differently. There's a method to my madness here, okay? Let me put this back up if you guys want some free shit. So let's see here. This eventually caused me to stick out as a third wheel observer on campus, someone who was always not mixing or participating. As a result, I never enjoyed the benefits. He couldn't even bring himself to it. I rarely dated. Instead, I was sneered at. Cute girls flicked their fingers at me. I was used by women as a person to tell their problems to. I was passed over. I was seen as weak, lame, and boring. I was ignored in the hallways, library classes by these women. And it didn't help. I was cash-strapped, broke, working a minimum wage job and eating ramen noodles, which is funny. Right? Because that goes to his belief that women like guys with money, right? We'll get into that here in a minute because he talks about all the guys that these chicks went for. They went for broke losers. But he was a broke loser. But you know what the difference between those guys and him? They wanted to have fun. He didn't. It was his own fucking mindset that kept him from meeting some of these chicks. Okay. He's also describing nice guy programming, isn't he? Right? Used as an emotional tampon by women. Why? Because he was hoping it would lead to a relationship, then to marriage, then finally sex. Okay. It's all a big covert contract, no matter how you shake it. I don't care what you Christian guys say. It's a fucking covert contract, what you guys are doing. AI is probably going to clip this, okay? But your covert contract as a Christian nice guy is, I'm going to meet a nice girl. I'm going to be super sweet to her. I'm going to get her to fall in love with me. Then I'm going to get her to marry me so I can finally have sex, because the Bible says I can't have sex until I'm married. But the end state is the same. I want to have sex with girls. But you guys can't fucking say that out loud because you're a nice guy. Right? Oh, nice guys don't do that. Oh, we're not about the sex, but you fucking are. And it's a covert contract. And this is why women don't like your asses, because you're fucking manipulative and you're fucking liars and you're not congruent. And women see right through that bullshit. That's why they don't fucking like you. If nice guys were being honest with themselves, they would realize the whole idea of finding a girl to settle down with is really just a means to an end to get sex. Okay? They just think the only right way to get sex is through marriage because of social programming. That social programming is an ineffective strategy to get sex, guys. I'm fucking telling you. It's an ineffective strategy. Dr. Robert Glover, who wrote No More Mr. Nice Guy in Dating Essentials for Men, said it very well. Okay. Women don't fuck a guy they get to know. They get to know a guy they want to fuck. That means sexual attractiveness comes first. Relationships come second. Maybe. I see shadows here in the background. It's because Nurse Chick's here to get her dog to take him to the vet. He's not feeling too good. The vast majority of these, this is going back to what he's saying. The vast majority of these young, hot girls vigorously pursued college life sex like you would not believe. They had sex with a large variety of guys, what I personally call lily padding. These girls did anything and anyone in the name of fun. Fun equals parties. Fun equals sex with new people. Fun equals drugs. Fun equals raves. Fun equals frat party, etc. It hurt me to watch these girls go out of their way to pursue and spread their legs for complete losers. Complete losers. I'm talking, hi, I work at a carnival part-time. I'm covered in tattoos. I have no job. I failed my minimum wage drug test and I'm in a band. These guys were losers. Some did not even go to college. They would hop on a bus, stay with a friend, and get laid that night. But the women found them sexually attractive, didn't they? Right? That goes back to his ineffective paradigm of thinking that money is what women are attracted to. They're not sexually attracted to fucking money. Okay? They're attracted to guys that want to have fun. Now, I'm here to tell you, like, we're going to get to this here in the end. He's very black and white in his thinking. And, if you guys watch Rollo Tomasi, for instance, right? Some people don't like Rollo. They think Rollo is too negative. They think that he's toxic and stuff like that. But if you really are discerning and you pay attention to what he's actually saying, he straight up tells you not to have black and white thinking. Okay. There's nuance to some of this stuff. Okay. You can be both sexually attractive, have fun, and all that kind of stuff for these women and still be a good guy. Okay. You can still do that. You don't have to be a fucking loser with a throat tattoo just to get laid. You don't have to. Okay. It's not black and white. You don't have to be a fucking asshole, but you can't be a nice guy. Okay. There is a difference. Paradoxically, he thinks these guys are all losers, but who's really fucking losing here? He is. He's the real fucking loser because he can't get out of his own fucking head, right? Because he thinks this is how life should be. Life should be more like this. Women should do the things that I want to do. Women should act the way I think they should act, but they don't. And now he's mad about it. Who's the real fucking loser? Who's losing out on this? It's not the guys with the tattoos that work at the fucking carnival. It's this fucking guy. He's the loser. All those other guys are getting laid. They're getting what they want out of life. He's not. Okay. Many nights I could not sleep because the girls getting fucked hard, 1, 2, 3, 4 dorm rooms down. The dorms were old military barracks from the 1940s with vents through the ceilings. It was very loud all the time. I remember how much it hurt to be rejected by one girl in particular. I had my open, hopeless romantic heart set on. We had a lot in common. I pursued her like a complete gentleman. Stop that shit. Stop that shit. It's the wrong frame, guys. And was eventually turned down. That same weekend after getting turned down, I got to hear her getting fucked hard and loud in the room next door. The guy who lived there was a super scraggly, unattractive, heavy drug user, covered in tattoos, majoring in music studies. This girl was young, hot, thin, beautiful, in her physical prime. I never said anything, but I felt so hurt. She turned me down for casual sex with a guy like that. This guy was very open about his exploits with her and told me not to worry because practically every guy he knew fucked her. As the years passed, the same thing happened again and again and again and again in various ways with all kinds of unrelated girls. What I mean is I was looking for an LTR leading to marriage. I would meet, trade numbers, talk, and feel a girl was a good person. Then she would do other guys. See, this goes to the episode I did with Morgan May last week, right? Where the girl that you think is the good girl and she's holding out on you and she's not putting out for you, she's out fucking these other guys. Okay. So you got to change your strategy up. You got to change your strategy up and you got to let go of the whole idea of that there's good girls and bad girls. That's Madonna horror complex. That's fucking with your head too. Okay. They're all the same girl. They're all the same girl. And if you want a girl who's truly into you, you gotta just embrace it. Okay. Get with a girl who wants to fuck your brains out the gates. That's a girl who's into you. Then she can discover that, oh, he's actually a decent guy. Oh, look at this. He actually makes money. Oh, he actually is a gentleman. Right. But you got to lead with the sexual attractiveness first. And find women who are truly into you. And the women that are making rules and putting you in the friend zone and fucking making you hold out for 3 months before sex or fucking until you're married to have sex, they're making rules for you. They don't fucking like you that much. They're fucking these guys with throat tattoos in the Waffle House parking lot. Okay? I really break all that shit down in Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18, which I just realized that Ryan Stone reviewed on Substack. It was kind of a backhanded compliment review, but hey, review's a review. Okay, where are we at here? I never said anything. Let's see here. He said every guy fucked her. As the years passed, same thing happened again and again and again and again in various ways with all kinds of unrelated girls. What I mean is I was looking for an LTR leading to marriage. I would meet, trade numbers, talk, and feel a girl was a good person. Then she would go do other guys. Or I would find out things like this. When this kind of thing happens to me over and over all through my life, it hurts me and makes me doubt senses. What is wrong with me that my heart is telling me she is a good person when she is clearly not? It's not that she's good or bad. She just don't fucking like you. Okay. And that's your fucking paradigm. That's what it is. He's like, what is it that's telling me this? It's your fucking paradigm with ineffective relationship programs. Okay. He's holding on to all this resentment for her, but he's the one with the ineffective dating strategy. Okay. You will never nice guy your way into a woman's pants ever, ever. Okay. And if you do, if you manage to nice guy your way into her pants, just know she's still looking at you like a beta provider and you're a means to an end. Okay. There was a guy that I was coaching for a while, one-on-one. He's still in the wolf pack. I'm not going to name names, and he's a great guy. He's a fucking legend in the group. But he was dating, and when he was dating, and I was trying to help him through some of this stuff, he just couldn't let go of some of this nice guy programming. And then he got frustrated with it all and took a break for a while. And then the last time I talked to him, we had a one-on-one chat. It wasn't like, because I genuinely care about the guys in the wolf pack. I genuinely care about the guys that I've coached. And so sometimes I'll just reach out to them to check in and I'm not trying to sell them anything. I just want to check in and see how they're doing. And so I checked in with him and we were talking, and he was talking about how there was this one girl he was talking to and things seemed to be going somewhere, but he was still trying to play nice guy game. And I was just sitting there going, I was just shaking my head, and he's like, what, Paul, what are you saying? And I go, bro, you can't nice guy your way into her fucking pants, man. You can't, And so he's like, fuck, you're right. Like he just didn't even realize it, It's not on him. It's hard to get rid of this shit. Okay. It takes fucking effort to reprogram this shit. Okay. As time went on, I was labeled husband material. Oof, God, fucking knife in the heart. I was labeled as husband material by the girls on my campus. This phrase continued to plague me into my late 20s. This label resulted in 0 dates all through college. I was down with it. I wasn't participating, etc. Sex, drugs, parties, etc. My heart wasn't into it. So I wasn't entitled to any of the benefits, having sex with young, attractive girls in their prime, etc. However, party guys, flash in the pan athletes, loser guys in bands, wannabe DJs, and self-professed club promoters were always getting these girls at their youngest, hottest physical prime. Basically, the more of a loser the guy was, the more these women would have sex with them. Hot sorority girls flocked to football players like a butterflies to a beast. Butterflies on a beast. Do butterflies attracted to beasts? I don't know. It didn't even matter if the guy was black. Who fucking cares? Racist. Anyway, college athletes didn't even try to get laid. College athletes did not even try to get laid, right? These chicks were just throwing themselves out. This just goes back. He keeps calling all these guys losers, but who's fucking losing here? Who's really losing here? There's a reason, like he's looking at all these guys as losers. The thing is that in his heart of hearts, he's not winning. And because he's got this in his head that he's not winning, women look at him like a loser. Right? Like all of frame comes down to what you believe about yourself. It's all up here. Right? And if you truly believe what you're saying, is especially like I'm going to get girls, I'm attractive, like women like me and stuff like that. If you believe that yourself, you fucking believe it. They believe it too. They can feel it. They can feel when you believe your own bullshit. They can, I dropped in the wolf pack the other day. One of my mentors, David Snyder, was talking about mystery and peacocking. And he was saying how the reason why Mystery and Neil Strauss could get away with peacocking is because they believed it. They believed they were the guys. Okay. And he goes, if you don't believe that shit, you could try peacocking, but then your stupid ass clothes end up wearing you because you're not congruent. Women suss this shit out. They can feel it. They can fucking feel it, right? A lot of guys in the red pill space don't like the whole idea of feeling and this woo-woo and all this stuff, but fucking women feel this shit. They feel it. Okay. Another, I put here in my notes. You should be insulted. You should be insulted by being called husband material. Okay. It essentially means you're a woman's plan B option for settling, not the guy she actually wants to fuck. Okay. The beta side of hypergamy. One night I had enough. I confronted, right? I called a bitch out. I confronted a room of 8 to 10 gorgeous white girls. These girls were 18 to 24 years old. I asked them if they planned to get married. All seemed to say more or less yes. I asked what their future husband would think about their behavior. I was immediately met with hostility. I was told the future husband would never know, and it's none of his business. The girls said they knew exactly what they were doing and were planning to have their fun. Fun equals partying, fun equals sex, fun equals going on spring break, etc., and would settle down later. I asked, when are you planning to settle down? They said, it depends, probably around 27, 28, or maybe sooner. It depends. I really put the girls on the spot. During our exchange, they saw I was upset. They told me I should be happy because nice guys finish last in the end, right? No, nice guys get the fucking leftovers, bro. Nice guys get the fucking leftovers, and then they're resentful about it, okay? I told them you can't have your cake and eat it too. Then I was told by Kayleen, a young, thin, super sexy blonde with curves in all the right places, who, by the way, refused to date me even though we were friends. We were friends. She refused to date me even though we're friends. You can't friendship your way into a girl's heart. Fuck that. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. What does Rolo say? You're either women have boyfriends and they have girlfriends. And if she's not fucking you, guess which one you are? You're her fucking girlfriend. Okay. Let's see. She refused to date me even though we were friends. And according to her roommate, had sex with almost 30 guys in one semester. She told me, Michael, let me tell you something. Not only am I going to have my cake, eat it and eat, or have my cake, eat it, and eat it too. What's it say? Have my cake, eat it, and eat it too. It's have my cake and eat it too, Michael. I'm going to have it with ice cream and sprinkles. All the girls laughed and smiled in agreement. Okay, this is why I say you're not going to hold women accountable. You can call them out. You can tell them that they're on a destructive path. You can tell them that they're all 304s and they should repent to God and stuff like that. They are going to laugh in your fucking face and they are not going to change their fucking behavior. Okay. Calling women out doesn't fucking change anything. All right. This is what happens when you try to hold women accountable. You're never going to do it. And this is why I tell you guys, confronting women or calling them out changes nothing. It's pointless, wasted fucking energy. He says, I thought things would change after college. They didn't. Of course they didn't. All right. A lot of you guys are wasting your time trying to change these women. Women are a variable you have no control over. Zero. None. Okay. The only variable you have control over is you. You need a better strategy. You're never going to get these women to like weak ass nice guys. You're never going to do it. So you need a better strategy if you want to win. Okay. Now at 32 and successful, these women are hitting on me. In my mind, these are the same women who rejected me. I'm not interested. The Bible says something to the effect of, don't forsake the wife of your youth, or something like, remember your young wife, something like that. How am I supposed to remember something I never had? I have no history with these women. Ticking ovaries are scandalous. They will lie and say anything to get what they want, which is babies and a loving husband to pay their bills. Yet these women did not even give a few good years of their youth. Yeah, they did, Michael. They gave them to all these other guys, and you refused to fucking join in on the fun. Okay. Imagine, if you will, if he had just had fun in college and found a girl who enthusiastically wanted to fuck him, and instead of being a goody two-shoes and pulled that stick out of his fucking ass, he just allowed himself to have fun. Imagine how life would be different for him. Okay. But instead, he held out until all of them were done with the games and ready for their plan B option, which he allowed himself to be. And now it's too late, at least in his own mind it is. It's not too late, though. Because if he could self-evaluate, realize that his strategy hasn't gotten him the results that he wants, and change his strategy, then go for the younger chicks that still want to fuck. And just fuck a bunch until he finds one that actually likes him while enjoying the whole process. Maybe he could get what he wants. But instead, he feels like he's missing out. That's a hell of his own making. And he's a Christian guy, but he's already living in hell. Right? He says, as a man, I'm very visual. God made me this way. I can't help finding a physically beautiful woman attractive. Why did these women not at least give me a few years of their youth so I would have time to fall in love with them and permanently burn their image in my mind's eye? Y'all know women don't owe you shit, right? Y'all know that, right? But likewise, you don't owe them shit either, okay? No one tells men that, though. No one tells men that, though. You don't owe women a better life, bro. Okay. Shout out to Rolo for that one. He says, I need something to remember when we are 50 and married, yet she spent her 20s parceling herself out to guys who gave her nothing and offer nothing to the guys who give her everything. I'm expected to commit hard-earned resources to raising children with what is ultimately a suspect woman whose history I know nothing about. Let's be honest for a minute, guys. Even if she was 22, you still wouldn't know her full history, bro. Probably. Okay. Women aren't exactly honest about that sort of thing. So because you'll never truly know, it's not worth your energy focusing on. Okay. He goes, a 30+ unmarried woman has very high chance of having a questionable past and baggage. I believe the more men a woman has been with, the less likely she has to be emotionally committed each subsequent one. When you have handed out little pieces of your heart over the years to dozens of different men, what is left for their husband to proclaim to truly love? What value do the words I love you mean when she has stared into the eyes of 10 to 100+ different men and said the same thing? We're going to be talking about this more tomorrow, but if your skills are good enough, it doesn't matter what her fucking past is like. Okay. We're going to talk about that more tomorrow. At 30+, women's physical appearance has nowhere to go but down. That's true. I can't argue with that. Is this what women mean by saving the best for last, marrying at 30+? How can women spend trillions of dollars a year on beauty products, yet at the same time claim a woman's age shouldn't be important to a man? And what about children? Did they ever think their husbands might want to have children? Well, women are solipsistic. They only think about themselves. So no, they didn't think about it at all, Michael. Is what it is. What's more likely to naturally produce a quicker pregnancy and healthy offspring? A fertile 24-year-old in her physical prime or a 35-year-old aging womb? What if I want multiple children? At 30+, a woman can easily be infertile. Oh, yeah, he's got typos here. At 30+, a woman can easily be infertile after her first pregnancy. As a result of everything I've seen and experienced in my life, I would like to make an announcement to all the desperate 30+-year-old women out there. I would rather suffocate and die than spend my hard-earned income, love, trust, and substance on you. You're entitled, aging, feminist, jaded, baggage-laden, and brainwashed. And if I can't marry a woman in her 20s, I refuse to ever get married. Given my high income, this should not be a problem. Women don't care that you took your ball and went home, bro. They don't give a fuck, okay? There's always going to be a guy out there to help them stick the landing, right? That chick that said she's not only is she going to eat her or have her cake and eat it too, but she's going to put fucking ice cream and sprinkles on it. She's absolutely right. There's always going to be a guy to bail her out, Michael. Okay. You fucking pronouncing, well, I'm not going to fucking, they don't fucking care. They'll find a guy. Okay. They're going to stick the landing. Okay. There's always going to be a guy out there. What gets me is how black and white this guy thinks, right? He's 32 and thinks his only fucking option is to get with women his own age. This kind of reminds me of I think it was maybe a couple of weeks ago when I answered that guy's email who was 51. And he was like, oh, all the women in my age are fucking old. It's like, well, bro, like date younger chicks. Like what's the fucking problem here? Okay. He's 32 and thinks his only option is to get with women his own age. There's plenty of 24-year-olds that would date a 32-year-old, okay? But his tunnel vision and the story he's made up in his head won't let him fucking see it, okay? However, I'm concerned at some point I will have to start looking overseas, Ukraine, Russia, Eastern Europe, etc. I'm not going to marry one of these 30 plus aging entitled females who clearly have an agenda of their own. I intend to get married once. Marriage is meant to be forever. Look, I've done videos on this too. If you don't have game or frame here in the United States, you won't have game or frame with a chick you import from other countries. Okay. And a lot of these women are looking for simps like Michael to give them a free ticket to America so they can fucking swindle them. All right. So what are you going to do, bro? What are you going to do, bro? I will not be a starter husband for one of these used up women. I can't tell you the number of men I've known who married late and were rewarded by losing everything they spent their lives building. You know, guys who marry young have the same fucking issue. This is a fundamental problem with what the TradCon Christian podcast community of like, just get married young, get married early, get married young. You're going to live happily ever after. Ask me how I know. I got married at 20 years old. I wasn't even old enough to drink alcohol yet when I got married. It still ended. It still ended because I didn't have the fucking relationship skills to manage things properly, to set the tone and lead properly. All right. I didn't learn that until after Red Pill Chick, right? It took me some failure, trial and error till I finally realized that I was the common denominator in all of this. I'm the only one I can control. I'm the only variable in this that I can control. I just need better skills. It's a skill issue. I had to learn that. Okay. So just getting married young is fucking retarded. I don't want to get demonetized. It's fucking retarded. Okay. Guys, send super chats. The way I see it, I've been giving the following choices. 1, marry a 30 plus woman. 2, marry a woman in their 20s. Yeah. Why not? Right. Be single and enjoy my money. Like, why are those his only options? That's why, like, those are the only options you have. Like, why do you even have to get married? Why do you have to even get the government involved? Oh, he's a Christian guy. Okay, I get it. If you guys don't understand that, tune into yesterday's episode. I went through all that yesterday. But that's Michael's story, guys. Okay, there's a reason why it's in the red pill sidebar. It's because a lot of guys think like Michael. And it's just ineffective, and it's really you're making a hell for yourself. These women have nothing to do with it, but you're blaming it all on them, right? They don't even know you're fucking alive. They don't even know you're fucking alive. You're invisible to them because you haven't learned how to insert yourself into their consciousness in a way that they find you sexually attractive. There where they want to be with you. This is a problem with like fundamental religious paradigms when it comes to relationships and have to get married and no sex before marriage. It's just, it goes against biology. It certainly goes against modern programming. Okay. You know, like women are programmed now to have their fun and settle down in their 30s. That's where the epiphany phase comes in when they're like 28, 29, 30, they're realizing, oh shit, my eggs are going to be used up. It's time to settle down. I've had all my fun, tired of the games, all that shit. Right. And then they settle down with beta guys, and he's upset because he wasted his 20s. The thing is that when you're in your 30s and you've established yourself, you're actually more attractive to these women, you know? So work on a better strategy is what I'm going to say here. Let's take a look at the chat here, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up. It's a little bit longer than I expected. I was kind of going off here. Oh my God, $47,000. Now it's a sponsored request. Thank you, or thanks for all that you do and for the Wolf Pack. Thank you, man. I'm going to give you this because this is what we're talking about today, right?
Shame this horse.
Yes, we got to shame these whores because that's what we do. We hold them accountable and shame these whores. John says, used up women, laugh my ass off. Darfitness also says, Friday's episode was a game changer. Listen to it 2 to 4 times. It will change your mindset. Oh, yes. The Order of Fat. Hey, what's up, Steve? I remembered you this time. Steve, hey. He says, haha, wow. He goes, loved Keep Your Bitch. Excellent. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it, man. Hey, do me a favor. When you get a chance, leave a review on Amazon or Audible, wherever you got that, okay? Because it's really hard to get organic reviews. And so if you guys really like the material, help another guy out by dropping a review. It takes 1 or 2 sentences is all you need. It takes you like five minutes, if that. And then Steve says, damn right. Perfect, Paul. All right, cool. Glad you guys liked it. Tune into the podcast tomorrow. We're going to talk about how to out alpha a previous alpha. So if Michael, if you're listening right now, tune in, bro, because we're gonna put you on game. Okay. How to out alpha a previous alpha. A lot of guys are deathly afraid that every woman out there is alpha widowed. Right. Ever since Rollo put out his blog article, I think it was in 2011, 2012, on the alpha widow phenomenon, guys are deathly afraid of it. Body counts, all that shit. They get all up in their fucking head about it. Okay. If you think about it, though, that's really a deep-seated fear that they won't measure up and they can't compete. Okay. We're going to fix that tomorrow morning. That's all I got, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications. I do have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and lately every Tuesday afternoon. But that's all I got. We will see you guys tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time.
You don't fix the storm by folding yourself. She don't want sweet, she wants a man who won't bail. No handouts, no talks, no playing it safe. Earn your ground or get replayed.